Hi. Let me start by speaking very candidly to you, more so than I would on social media. And let me say this. The Cfdc's never been a place where we've put up with any kind of bullshit that would make the community or the environment one with which you wouldn't feel safe, accepted, or cared for. Our hearts are broken for the stuff that's happening out there, and you need to hear from my mouth on behalf of the entire staff that we don't condone racism. We don't condone looking down upon anyone, regardless of the color of their skin or any other individual difference that they might have. It's not the business that we set out to design, and it's not something that we will tolerate. So, like I said in Instagram, it's crazy that we have to address that, but it's necessary, and we're happy to be very forthcoming and honest about how we feel with that. Now, for some of you, you don't get on Instagram, and to be honest, good for you. But for those of you that do, or get on Twitter, or even read the news, you probably heard that the guy that is the founder of CrossFit, that's technically the CEO and the owner of CrossFit, came out and said some very insensitive things in regards to racism, in regards to the Black Lives Matter movement. And you need to know, in addition to what I've already said, that we don't condone that. Now, I'll give you a little more insight than I did on Instagram. We've been open for 12 years. When we first opened, it was renegade enough to just be labeled CrossFit. But the further and further we got from that origin and the inception of this idea to train people with multi-joint movements in a group format, the more individual differences that we found for ourselves as a business. And I mentioned some of those on social media, but what I didn't say is that we technically haven't been like a full-blown affiliate in the traditional sense for several years. We don't pay affiliate fees. Now, I never thought that it was noteworthy for you to know that, but in a ecosystem where people need to justify their actions, I want you to know that there's some congruency in what I'm saying and what we're actually doing. Secondly, I've never wanted to talk shit about anybody. Quietly, we just decided to call ourselves Cfdc instead of CrossFit, not to bash CrossFit, but just to chart a course in our own direction. In the last 18 months, if you've been a member with us, you know that's absolutely true, because if you look at the operations of what we do compared to a typical functional fitness gym, you'll notice some stark contrasts. So I wanted to get out in front of that. I wanted to be a little bit more transparent with you guys instead of diplomatic on social media. And so what does that mean? Well, partly it doesn't change anything for you as a member because we're already doing it. But you also need to be equipped to respond if people ask, and you need to know that we're headed in a direction that looks less and less like an atypical CrossFit gym, and it's not because we're hopping on the bandwagon. That's something that we've consciously decided for a long time made sense for us as we try to take care of you the best that we possibly can. So now that we got that out of the way, we actually have more stuff to talk about. Now, in regards to the program, and maybe a tangible example of what we just talked about, the experimentation that we've gone through with COVID, with you as our lab rat and our guinea pig, looks like more of an individualized approach. Would you agree? We want to paradoxically hold on to those touch points with you as an individual and bring back all of the wonderful things that we have in the group that make sense. If you've trained with us in person, then you can see that played out with fervor and great effort, but not the full iteration of it, right? Because we only have about 10% of the equipment, and we're in the final days of Fondren as we transition to Washington. So I share all that with you to say this. As we move to Washington, we're already selling this new thing that we're doing for $250 a month. That's right, folks, step right up. It's $250 a month. And I'm here to tell you that people that don't know any better are thrilled to get that customization, to get the individualized attention, to be able to have their bespoke workouts at home, on the road, and have a platform that could allow us to speak into other areas of their life that need accountability, such as nutrition. For you, we don't want you to pay any more money. We've been through enough. We've been through this ringer together. And so for the rest of the summer, we'd like to just continue to do as we've done in the past, which is give you this customized approach. We want you to know that's what it costs, but we don't want you to have to pay anything until the end of summer, if that's what you want. And so I want you to know that if you want to go back to just access to the group class and none of that customization or videos from Marcella every day, then you can. And at the end of the summer, we'll point blank ask you like, hey, Bill, what do you want to do? And you'll either say, man, this is totally cool. I think it's worth it. This is what I want to do. Or you'll say, I'd really love to go back to this thing that we did before. And as long as you know what that means, we're cool if you're cool. What that means, and maybe something that we haven't spoken about at great length, is at the new facility, we're going to have an open gym access. Now, we've never done that before, and some of it is because we didn't have True Coach and we had to micromanage what happened in the group class. So if we saw you off the reservation in the corner outside of the group, we didn't know if you were doing what you were supposed to be doing, and what I mean by that is would it be congruent with the workout for the next day? But with True Coach, we don't have to be obsessive compulsive. And so Open Gym is going to be an integral part of this new membership that includes customization. And so customization and an Open Gym are really the big differentiators. And ultimately, it'll just come down to what you think is the best for your health and your fitness, and whatever you decide, we'll totally honor. Yeah, last but not least, let's talk about the actual schedule and what's going to happen from now until we move to Washington. Washington will happen on the 20th. Now, originally we said the 15th. We've extended another week because we realized that if you had diarrhea, it'd be a real drag if you didn't have a bathroom to go to. Now, two things there. Hopefully you don't have diarrhea. Let's make sure that you're not eating anything that's pro-inflammatory. But secondly, let's just wait another week until you can actually poop in there if you need to. So, long story short, we're going to plan on transitioning there what I guess is the 22nd. Saturday the 20th will be our last workout. We'll play all of the homecoming songs from my high school, and we'll rub our hands on the wall and just say thank you so much, Fondren, and then we'll get the hell out of there. We'll load the truck. If you want to drive over to Washington with us, you're welcome to. The week of the 15th, a couple things you need to know. We will program 6 workouts. We'll program 6 workouts and we'll have 15 spots of class. Those are the 2 changes for that week. 6 workouts programmed, and we'll have 15 people at class. That means that the week of the 15th, we need the gear back so we can use that to program. If you're going to continue to do workouts at home, we love that. We support that. Let us know what equipment you have. Some people have bought some gear, and so we probably need to have some updated notes with your coach with what you have available. And if you're hankering for your own home gym and you need some equipment, let us know. We may be able to help you out. So, long story short, we hate racism. We're excited for the new gym. We're excited for new programs. We're excited to trailblaze in this direction of what we believe is the next iteration of personalization while still maintaining the group cohesiveness. Our move-in date, we believe, is the 22nd. That'll be the first day that we run training. And we love you. We love you guys. We love that we get to help you. We love that we get this interaction with you. We're so excited to let some of the dust settle on the apocalypse that's happening right now. We can't wait to see you in the gym. Thank you.